Michael Moore himself. This is from Michael Moore in Trumpland.
Donald Trump came to the Detroit Economic Club and stood there in front of the Ford Motor executives and said,
was going to play that.
if you close these factories that you're planning to do in Detroit and build them in Mexico, I'm going to put a 35% tariff on those cars when you send them back, and nobody's going to buy them. It was an amazing thing to see. No politician, Republican or Democrat, had ever said anything like that to these executives. And it was music to the ears of people in Michigan and Ohio and Pennsylvania and Wisconsin, the Brexit states.
Okay, I can turn it down from the studio.
You live here in Ohio. You know what I'm talking about. Whether Trump means it or not is kind of irrelevant because he's saying the things to people who are hurting. And it's why every beaten down, nameless, forgotten working stiff who used to be part of what was called the middle class loves Trump. He is the human Molotov cocktail that they've been waiting for. The human hand grenade that they can legally throw into the system that stole their lives from them. And on November 8th, Election Day, although they lost their jobs, although they've been foreclosed on by the bank, next came the divorce, and now the wife and kids are gone. The car's been repoed. They haven't had a real vacation in years. They're stuck with the Obamacare bronze plan where you can't even get a Percocet. They've essentially lost everything they had, except one thing. The one thing that doesn't cost them a cent and is guaranteed to them by the American Constitution, the right to vote. They might be penniless, they might be homeless, they might be over and up. It doesn't matter because it's equalized on that day. A millionaire has the same number of votes as the person without a job. One. And there's more of the former middle class than there are in the millionaire class. So on November 8th, the dispossessed will walk into the voting booth, be handed a ballot, close the curtain, and take that lever, or felt pen or touchscreen, and put a big X in the box by the name of the man who has threatened to upend and overturn the very system that has ruined their lives.
And then give me your points of view on it.
Donald J. Trump. They see that the elites who ruined their lives hate Trump. Corporate America hates Trump. Wall Street hates Trump. The career politicians hate Trump. The media hates Trump after they loved him and created him, and now hate him. Thank you, media. The enemy of my enemy is who I'm voting for on November 8th. Yes, on November 8th, you, Joe Blow, Steve Blow, Bob Blow, Billy Blow, Billy Bob Blow, all the Blows get to go and blow up the whole goddamn system because it's your right.
It's a problem. It is an absolute problem.
Trump's election is going to be the biggest feud ever recorded in human history.
America, your time is up. President Donald Trump.
And it will feel
and it's the truth about
good.
It. It's like this political situation that we're in. Donald Trump
for a
can
day.
Say anything that he wants to.
Yeah, maybe a week.
I mean, anything. It don't make
possibly a month.
And these people,
and then,
him,
like the Brits, who wanted to send a message, so they voted to leave Europe. Only to find out that if you vote to leave Europe, you actually have to leave Europe. And now they regret it. All the Ohioans, Pennsylvanians, Michiganders, and Wisconsinites of Middle England, right? They all voted to leave, and now they regret it, and over 4 million of them have signed a petition to have a do-over. They want another election. It ain't going to happen because you use the ballot as an anger management tool.
All of the people in Washington right here at my front door.
And now
you
you're
want to know what I said and why I said it.
And the rest of Europe, they're like, bye, Felicia. So when the rightfully angry people of Ohio and Michigan and Pennsylvania and Wisconsin find out after a few months in office that President Trump wasn't going to do a damn thing for them, it'll be too late to do anything about it. But I get it. You wanted to send a message. You had righteous anger and justifiable anger.
America, the people in America is big enough food.
Well,
they're going to put him back
message
in there.
sent.
They're going to put him back in there. You know why?
Good night, America. You've just elected the last president of the United States.
You just elected the last president of the United States, Michael Moore, in studio here in New York. Your response to yourself.
Well, that's what I think, you know, the United States that we know now, for better or worse, won't be the United States that we know after 4 years of Donald Trump. So we all, those of us who are upset at the things about this country that we're upset about, the way to fix it is to put Trump in there, you know, to blow it up. But you know, that whole piece, it's funny you played that. A couple of right-wing websites doctored that piece, and they cut me off right after. And when you vote for Trump, and it'll feel good, and they cut it right there, like I wanted to say, like it's going to feel good. And of course, the next line is, as you just showed, you know, for a day, maybe a week. And this went all over these right-wing websites last week, and iTunes like sent me a text saying, "What's going on? Like tens of thousands of people suddenly in the middle of the day are buying your film." And we were already doing well. I mean, it's been at #1 on iTunes for almost a couple weeks. I said, the right wingers are telling people to go buy this movie because they've been shown only this one little bit of it. And I was feeling kind of, I know I shouldn't, just bear with me, it's the Irish Catholic in me. I was feeling guilty that all these poor conservative right-wing dudes were losing $5 to iTunes, and then they get my movie and they realize, you know, oh no, and they can't get their money back. So I called up Megyn Kelly and got her producer. I said, can I come on Fox tonight? You know, I know I'm not a usual Fox guest, but can I come on? And I just want to tell people to stop buying my movie because I just feel bad they're losing $5, you know. And so they had me on, and I told them that I said, people, I mean, I want you to watch my movie. I said, I think you might learn a few things because I have in the movie I have a number of gently disguised facts that will, you know, I hope would might seep in a little bit. But I just can't take your money if you're thinking that this is some love poem to Donald Trump, because it's the opposite of that.
Well, it wasn't only them, but him. It was Donald Trump himself who tweeted out this video.
Correct.
He wrote what? Michael Moore, to all Americans, I see you and I hear you. I am your voice. Vote to drain the swamp with me on 11/8. And he linked to a YouTube of the edited video.
Yes, which only then drove hundreds of thousands of more people to my movie, maybe millions at this point. And it's like, I've looked at this, I thought, I cannot believe this, right? So does he think, okay, he clearly hasn't seen the movie, right? So does he think, this is honest, Amy, this is what I think it is. I think he saw that his name was in the title of a movie. And he's such a narcissist that he just went, hey, there's a movie about me. It's got my name in it, you know? He doesn't talk like that, by the way. That was like Western Michigan accent.
Academy Award-winning filmmaker Michael Moore, director of the new film Michael Moore in Trumpland. And that does it for our show. To see part 1 of our discussion with Michael, go to democracynow.org. Also, we're doing a 5-hour election night special. That's Tuesday night, 7 to midnight Eastern Time. Check it out at democracynow.org. Democracy Now! Produced by Mike Berkman, Reed Shea, Carla Rose, Laura Gottesdien, Dean Guster. I'm Amy Goodman.
Famed reporter Bob Woodward made headlines once again this past week with his new book about the Trump White House entitled Fear. This morning, his first television interview with our David Martin.
You look at the operation of this White House, and you have to say, let's hope to God we don't have a crisis.
For Bob Woodward, that is the bottom line to all the jaw-dropping chaos and discord described in his new book, Fear, Trump in the White House, published by Simon & Schuster, a division of CBS.
People who work for him are worried that he will sign things or give orders that threaten the national security or the financial security of the country or the world.
Aides, including then Chief Economic Advisor Gary Cohn and White House Staff Secretary Rob Porter, literally stole documents like this one off the president's desk in the Oval Office.
So he wouldn't sign them because they realized that this would endanger the country.
How do they get away with that?
He doesn't remember. If it's not on his desk, if it's not immediately available for action, it goes away.
Unelected officials like Cohn and Porter intentionally thwarting the actions of the elected president, the exact reverse of what a White House staff is supposed to do. Going back to Richard Nixon and Watergate, this is the 9th White House Woodward has covered.
In the 8 others, I never heard of people on the staff in the White House engaging in that kind of extreme action.
In Woodward's telling, Donald Trump does not see America as the indispensable nation. He sees it as an international sucker taken advantage of by allies and trading partners. He complained his advisors don't know anything about business. All they want is to protect everybody that we pay for. According to Woodward, the president is obsessed by the fact the U.S. pays $3.5 billion a year to station troops in South Korea as a first line of defense against the North. I don't know why they're there, he said at one meeting. Let's bring them all home. At another meeting, Secretary of Defense James Mattis starkly explained why the U.S. has 28,000 troops in Korea. We're doing this in order to prevent World War III.
The United States has great strength and patience, but if it is forced to defend itself or its allies, we will have no choice but to totally destroy North Korea.
The standoff with North Korea has been eased for the moment by the Singapore summit, which brought together 2 leaders who had been trading nuclear threats and schoolyard insults.
Rocket Man is on a suicide mission for himself and for his regime.
The president later made that little Rocket Man on Twitter, which he told Staff Secretary Rob Porter may be my best ever. When Porter asked if it might provoke Kim, the president replied,
"It's leader versus leader, man versus man, me versus Kim."
The most dangerous moment of the standoff, Woodward says, came when the president went to work on another tweet.
He drafts a tweet saying we are going to pull out dependents from South Korea, family members of the 28,000 people there.
That tweet was never sent because of a back-channel message from North Korea that it would regard a pullout of dependents as a sign the U.S. was preparing to attack.
At that moment, there was a sense of profound alarm in the Pentagon leadership that, my God, one tweet, and we have reliable information that the North Koreans are going to read this as an attack is imminent.
We are going to appoint Mad Dog Mattis as our Secretary of Defense.
The president surrounded himself with generals, active duty and...
Shut that off. No, that won't play. It still won't play. Try reloading the whole broadcast. It's going to let us do it. All right, it is let us do it. Okay, we got still on. Okay, let's go back. Let's go back down and find out where we were. Please, let's see. Donald Black says, okay. Frankie Clark, Tyrone Williams on time. Okay, I don't see right. bad that. Okay. Let's see, can we cut off boycott? All right. Let's see, can we hear boycott as we started it off?